That's me. Oh, you want me to teach you how to pose? Oh, good. Well, let's go then. Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking poses and specifically standing poses. This is a video that's highly requested by you guys, and to help us do that today I've got a lovely Dominica with us. I will put Dominica's detail in the description below, so afterwards go check her out. But first let's just get this done. First things first, when it comes to poses, there are a few simple things that you should do and you should remember. A lot of these poses that we're going to be doing today will work for all body types. You just got to be mindful and make little tweaks to make adjustments to fit that particular body type. What you want to do is not be flat-footed, and when it comes to posing, everything that you do starts from the feet upwards, because that way you've got a good foundation and a good base to build upon. So you don't want to be standing flat-footed. So if I'm slightly apart for me, good, flat-footed, that feels awkward. It feels like you're in an assembly in school, like your teachers told you off. So you want to avoid being flat-footed. So the first thing you want to do is go towards the angle that suits you and your preferred angle. So Dominica, what is your preferred angle? That way. So what I'll say is take a gently step towards that way for us, right? So almost not all the way 45, so almost turn a little, good, perfect. So, and then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move our weight onto our back leg, so you're almost going like that. All right, next thing you're going to do is bring that knee slightly forward and then bend in. So we've already slimmed her out. Simple, right? And what we're looking for is curves and shapes, right? So we're starting, like I said, we're starting with the feet upwards. So now that we've got the feet, the next part of the body is the hips. Like I said, you push the hips. You want to push the hip backward. If you push your hips forward for me. Go that way. No, right that way. So what this is going to do is obviously make that area a lot bigger. And remember, whatever is closest to camera will always look bigger. Not everyone wants that, so you have to be careful when posing. Women, people in general, you want to push everything away from the camera. So hips back that way for us towards there. Okay, perfect. Good. Now let's talk about hands. What to do with the hands, how you should pose the hands. There are different ways and different things you can do. So first thing you want to do is you want to think, like I said, about gaps and producing gaps in between. So a good rule of thumb would be, like Dominica's got jeans on at the moment. She could do a couple of different variations of poses. Can start with maybe hands on the hips. So you see you've got that really nice gap there. And then with our next arm, if we bring our hair around to this side, sorry, Dom, to this side, what she can do is just gently bring this arm up and then just almost play with the end of the hair. And that way you created gap here, but also bring the arm out a little bit more. You've also created a gap there. So that is our next step, arms, right? Like I said, there are different ways you can actually use your arms. The next way you can use your arms is to actually use the belt holes on your pants. Again, creating that gap, having that gap in between there. Remember, that is also going to show Dominica's figure and your model's figure really nicely. Again, we want to focus on keeping and getting triangles. Sorry, you want to get triangles, think triangles. So if you look, you've got 1, 2, right, triangles, and all of that leads me back to Dominica's face. Shoulders is our next part. Shoulders, you want to keep your shoulders nice and straight and back. So nice, so perfect. So now you see she's got a much better posture. And then our last thing is our head. What do we do with our head? Usually you would focus the head or bring the face of your model back towards your light source and your model's body away from the light source, because what that's gonna do is give your model good illumination in terms of her face, because you want the focus to be on your actual model's face, and then take away light from the body, which ultimately slims the body down. So the next pose is head. So I want to first of all talk about what not to do. Because when you tell people to put your chin forward, put chin forward, you bring a chin down. And what that does is actually create a double chin. Like, who wants a double chin? Do you want a double chin? No, I don't want a double chin. I don't want to give my model a double chin. So we're not going to do that. So instead of saying chin down, what you want to tell your model to do is go with your forehead. If you lean with your forehead, your chin will follow, and that automatically brings the chin forward. So come over a little bit and then come to us that way. Good. You can also ask them to do a little tilt for you as well, a little tilt that way. Perfect. And there you go. So we've gone from a simple pose. So bring it round a little bit more. That way, that way, that way. Keep going. That, that way. So that arm, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So keep going. Come round, come round. There we go. Good, good. So we've gone from a boring pose to something that is a lot more attractive. It looks good. Do you feel good? Model feels good. So yeah, it's that simple. What I also recommend is that when you are home is to try out these poses. So what we're going to do now is a quick recap of how we got to this point. So we're going to start from the beginning. So straight ahead, and you just go through the different poses, right? So straight ahead, 45-degree, sort of like a 45-degree angle, feet forward, bend them knees, perfect, hips back, good, into the pants, bring it round a little bit, perfect, good, shoulders nice and back, good, and then think forehead, right, good, little tilt, and there we go. Look at the shape of Dominica there. So as you can see, you get really nice, that really nice S shape, S curve. So that is how we do some simple poses. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. So if you're finding value in this video so far, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Actually, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can, we'll really appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. So guys, pose number 2. So this time, again, we're going to start with our boring base. So feet and arms closer to the body. It's also good to remember that the closer your arms are to your body, the larger it will make you look and the wider it will make you look, especially when you're standing directly towards camera. So that's why it's important to always have your arms away from your body, even as a smaller person, a bigger person. Just keep your arms away from your body. Your arms close to your body will always make your body look bigger. And also, if you're wearing black, that's also much more evident because there's not much gaps in between. Right, so for this pose, we're going to go with our basic standing dead straight. And then first thing we're going to do is go right foot across, hips back. So right foot across, hips back. So you get a slight bend on your knees, right? You can go onto your toes, right? So you want to come off your heels on that one, hips back. Now you could do a couple of variations with your arms. You could go one arm into your pockets if you wanted to, or you can go into your belt loop, right? Your other arm, you could either keep it down here where you still maintain a little bit of a gap there, or you can bring it up to the other belt loop and hold it like this. So remember, from out, so chest forward. Again, you want to always lead with your chest. That way the chest looks bigger, the bust looks bigger. If you wanted to make the bust look smaller, what you'll then do is ask your model to squeeze in shoulders in. Okay, that will make the bust look smaller. So for this, we're going to go shoulders back. Good. And now we're going to work on the head. So again, we want to lead with our forehead. So forehead forward. Good. And then a slight tilt that way. Perfect. And there we have a completely different pose. It looks good. And do you feel good? Yeah, see? And the model feels good as well. So it's that simple. One thing I always say and I teach my models is to practice some of these poses in the mirror. That way, when you do come in front of a camera, so what you could do is literally go into these poses. I'm going to give you one last tip also to do with your hands. So with the same pose, what you could also do is go into the I'm playing with a string. So I call it the play with a string vibe, look, style. So you almost like you're playing with a string in your hand. Go like that, right? And just keep twiddling, moving your thumb, right? You could also, again, keep that one arm here and then play with the here, with this arm, and that one. Yeah, perfect. There we go. So literally just gently play with the hair and go through. So what's important to know is that as you're doing these poses and as your photographer is taking photos, you want to keep switching them out. So if we start from the beginning, Dominica, so imagine I'm taking photos of Dominica now. So she goes into the first part of the pose, and as she's going into that pose, I'm ready to start taking photos, and she just keep switching, keep moving around. There we go, good. She's moving the hair, so you had a little bit of fluidity to the actual posing that way, so it's not as stale, it's not stagnant. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, let us know in the comments below. I want to say a huge thank you to Dominica. Please don't go stalk her. Stalk her anyway.
Stalk me. Fuck me.
Just don't go stalking her, please, because you know we'll protect her. And a massive thank you to Michael as well for helping us with the BTS. I'm going to put everyone's link in the description below, so make sure you go check them out and give them a follow. So thank you for watching, and we will catch you in the
Next video. Is it?
You had one job.
But you never told me. What's my job?
You're fired. She's fired.
Say.
She is fired.
Hey guys.
She's fired. She's fired. She's fired. There you go.